What's going on, geometry students? All right, a few things about me. My name is Mr. Dalday, and you're going to see some weird things that I do. First, the weird thing that I do is for some reason I always start my classes with what's going on, the words. I don't know. I don't, I not, and you know what's funny is every single time I do it, I always say, I don't know why I do it, but I do. But what's going on, geometry students? That's going to be a thing for Mr. Dalday. He's going to be that weird guy who says what's going on before every class. Can you guys hear me all right? Audio check? Okay, good. Now, I need you guys to be active typers. I need you to chat back with me because I hate just talking. I don't want you to be a talking head where I'm just like talk, 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 and then I have no idea whether or not you guys are making a sandwich or can hear me or pay attention or any of that kind of stuff. So I need you to chat back with me. We need to develop that as a culture in our class that we're coming back and saying, yeah, I get it, or okay, or NP, no problem, or all of that kind of stuff. And just abbreviate back to me. You don't even need to type in full on like, essays. You just need to write K or, JK or whatever it is you want, you know. So, LMM, what is it? LM, laughing on the floor and rolling or something like that. Roll for, I don't know what you guys do. You crazy kids and your texting, chatting kind of deal thing. All right. So today's class is going to be geometry, and Mr. Dalday is pretty funny. I also talk about myself in the third person. Another odd thing that I do. I don't know why I do these kinds of things. I'm going to try to hit this class pretty quickly, mainly because we don't have a whole lot of time to talk, and most of the classes are going to be like that. All of these classes are mandatory, although I'm not going to burden you too much if you don't attend today's class because it's the first day and everyone, we're just trying to get everything situated, but I'm glad you're here and I'm going to send this video out. The first thing I want to go over is the syllabus, and I want you guys to check this out real quick. We'll go through this together. You can click on the top of that syllabus over there and it will take you straight to the Google Doc. I believe it will. Let me see if that works. My computer's a little slow. I apologize for the delay. It is still thinking. All right, how do I see the screen? Okay. Hey, how did you guys get in? You guys clicked on the Adobe Connect button on the left-hand side, yeah? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, let me just chat back to this guy. Reply. NP, click on the Adobe Connect button on the left side of the classroom. All right, cool. All right, so aloha. My name is Mr. Dalday, and I'm super excited about teaching you. Let me go through kind of what's the rundown of this. Attendance. You need to attend class. Class is going to be Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 1 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. You need to attend class. They are required, actually. And not only are they required, but it's required that you actually participate in class. So I'm actually going to make note of who's participating and who's talking and all of that kind of stuff. All right. Textbook. We're going to be using, the textbook we're going to be using comes out of the Common Core Standards as it was written by the Hawaii DOE. I had a textbook that I was going to use from New York, and then all of a sudden last week they told me, oh, by the way, we're changing the textbook on you. So I had to redesign the whole class. So I'm still kind of, fixing things here and there. Anyway, we're going to be using a textbook written by the University of Hawaii, and it's based off of the Common Core Standards. I've uploaded all of those things. I'll walk you through them. I'll show you folks what's going on. You might want to do Microsoft OneNote. I think you need to download that. We're going to try to get ourselves a hold of a tablet and then see if we can play around with that thing a little bit more. There's another program called GeoGebra. I found that one was pretty cool. I want you folks to pick up a calculator, a simple calculator, like a $10 one. When you attend my virtual class, you're going to find that what I do is when I teach class, in order to help me engage the students a little bit better, I want my students to do all the calculator work themselves. My job is not the calculator work stuff. My job is to just teach it, and then I'm going to ask you guys what's the answer, and then you guys can do the calculator stuff. And you have to tell me, and that way I know that you're paying attention and all of that kind of stuff. You want pen and paper. That's a good way to do things, all right? And then you might want a compass. That's a little, that's for those of you who want to work on a physical piece of paper. Okay, homework. I'm pretty much going to give homework every single day. Now, there are cool things about how I do homework. The first cool thing, I think, is, all right, so everyone grown. Oh my goodness, homework every single day. Go over it. Say grown. Type it in. There we go. Good. Yeah, I usually get that from my students when I'm teaching them live. So now I'm letting you guys grown online. Homework every day. All right, here's what's going to happen. Your homework is going to be done through this program called IXL. And it's mainly a practice thing used for math students, but I'm using it as a homework system. And here's how I want you to use it. All I want you to do is 15 problems. Minimum, okay? You need to do 15 problems to submit this homework. Now, you'll have this thing on the right-hand side called a SMART score. If you get every single one of those 15 problems correct, you will get a SMART score of 100. Cool? And that's pretty standard across the board. If you get all the problems right, you'll get 100%. And if you don't do 15 problems, then I won't count your SMART score. Okay? What if you get 1 or 2 wrong? Well, after you do your 15 problems, you get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 wrong or whatever, right? You won't have a SMART score of 100. You'll have a 75 or a 65 or something like that. Are we cool? But maybe you say, I really want that 100. So instead of doing 15 problems, I'm going to just keep on going. And I'm going to do 17 problems, or 20 problems, or 25 problems. And usually you can do it in about 20 problems. And then that brings your SMART score back up to 100. You could get it up to 100 if you wanted to. Now, say that you are just, poor guy. We'll have to get working on that. Let's see. This guy's emailing me saying he can't get in. I'll have to work out the bugs on it. All right. Okay, the 100 taken as 100, or is it calculated by the number of questions? I think what it is they have a special formula that they do, but it's basically how many you get correct and how you've mastered the understanding. All right. The other alternative to this is we could use Khan Academy. I hate Khan Academy. I don't know about you. Have you ever used Khan Academy? Okay. Yeah. Khan Academy has this thing where you have to get 5 in a row. And from what I've seen students do is they'll spend like 45 minutes to an hour just trying to get 5 in a row and end up doing hundreds of problems just to get 5 correct in a row. And it's a big pain. Now, I like that. I like the idea that I want you to get 5 in a row correct because I want you to master something. But I hate the idea that you will get stuck in this loophole of trying to do something over and over again to perfect it. So that's why I'm moving over to IXL. Because what I'm doing is I'm saying you can do 15 problems. Once you're done with that 15 problems, if you're satisfied with the score, keep it. Move on. Stop. Done. If you are unsatisfied with that score, you can keep going and you can get 100%. You really have no excuse for not getting 100% because you can just work hard and you can put in the time and do it. But I'm not going to trap you in this like loophole of endless problems that you have to do to get 5 in a row or whatever. I just want 15 problems. Now, if you guys do 15 problems and you get them all wrong and it comes out, or like let's say you get like a 10 for your SMART score, like please keep going. You know what I mean? Don't just like say, well, I give up. It's fine. Um, okay, so I don't know if I have IXL set up completely. I had one of the counselors who was going to set it up for me, and I'm not sure. I have to call him to make sure that he did that. So before the IXL is due, I'm going to have to make sure that I get all that information out. Okay? So my answer is I don't know. Oh yes, and I fixed that. It said something was due at 6 in the morning this morning. That was a punk move by me. I apologize. I didn't realize that that was going to be the case. I pushed that assignment back to be due tomorrow. Got it? All right. Late homework. I no late homework. That's just the way it works. I will accept late homework if you send me an email before it's due asking me to extend your due date. And then I'll email you back. Or if you send me a text message, say, hey, Mr. Dalday, I'm trying real hard. I can't get it in. I just can't. It's impossible. Then I'll say, dude, you have another day, or you have another 2 days. Maybe what I should say is, you need to send me an email stating, posted before its due date, the due date, and you need to tell me, included in this email is the reason for the extension and the reason for the extension and the projected time that you will need to submit it. All right, does that make sense? So you just send me an email. Hey, Mr. Dalday, my dog ate my computer, and therefore I cannot turn in my homework right now. I can get it into you in 3 days. Then I'll say, okay. But I'll say, yeah, don't use that excuse. Your dog's not going to eat your computer. It will slobber all over your computer, I'm sure. But it didn't eat your computer, so don't use that one. All right, anyway. Grades. At the end of the 3rd, 5th, 7th week, I will hand out, I will submit grade checks. Geometry is a year-long class, so what's going to happen is most of your classes that you're taking, I'm assuming you folks are 10th graders, so what, are you guys in biology? All right, so your biology class is a full year's worth of class condensed into like half a year. I'm pretty sure that that's how your biology class works. So what's going to happen is you're going to have biology A and biology B in quarter 1 and quarter 2, and by December you'll be done with your biology classes. That's the same with your social studies class. That should even be the same with your English class. But math is different. Math is going to have part A in quarter 1 and 2. We call that a semester. And then it's going to have part B in quarter 3 and 4. So you only get 2 grades. You're only going to get a quarter or a part A grade and a part B grade. And so you're only going to get a grade like that officially goes into your report card in December and May. Does that make sense to you? Because we said math is hard enough already. We're not going to condense this into one semester. We have to keep math, the year-long math, as a year-long math. Does that make sense? Are we good? All right. Yeah, but what this really means is, what this really is going to mean is that we're going to, let's see, what that really means is that your quarter 1 grade is really more of a heads up. It's not necessarily, it's not going to be reflected on your transcripts. Colleges won't see your quarter 1 grade. They'll see only your quarter 2 and your quarter 4 grades. So if you're getting an F in quarter one, which don't get an F in quarter one. It's just going to screw you up. I promise you that. But if you're getting an F, technically you have a chance to still get your grade up before the semester ends, and then that's the only grade that I'm actually putting in. But I will be sending, grade checks and what the hey emails over to your parents and saying what's going on. These kids are getting like Fs and all of that kind of stuff. Got it? All right. I'm a texter. I'm not a fast texter, but I text. And oh yes. By the way, real quick, my grading standard is pretty straightforward. It's just those regular percentages. I am a nice guy in that if you're getting a 79.5, I'll round that up to an 80%. Okay. What I will almost always do, in fact, I can almost say just straight up always, what I will always do is I will round up grades in your favor, which means I'll take grades that are doing poor and I'll bring them up so that way you can get the next grade up. Yes, it's a super nice thing that Mr. Dalday does. So if you're getting like a 78.5% or something like that, and all of a sudden you got a B on your report card, and don't complain to me. Say, Mr. Dalday, what did you do? Why did you change my grade? Right? Dude, if it works in your favor, just don't say anything. So, Mr. Dalday will do that. Don't, just be cool. Got it? Which is not a guarantee. Like, don't bank on that. Don't be like, dude, I'm getting a 79.0%. I'm going to get a B. Guaranteed. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I'll kind of help you out with your grades if you're one of those students who like stick out in my mind because, man, that student always chats back with me. They're always answering my questions. They never miss class. I'd love to give that student a B. Boom, there you go. Cool? All right. Which Noah and Lorelei? Now, is it Laura Lee? Is that what's going on? Lori Lee? Okay, cool. All right, which Noah and Lori Lee, you folks are on the right track here. You folks are like chatting back with me, and we're talking, and it's a lot of fun, and we can do that. Lori, okay, cool. All right. The way my class is organized. So let me go over to my classroom. The way my class is organized is I like to put instructions at the beginning of each of my of my things. So if something is written as assignment, that means it's an assignment. If there's something that says watch archive, it's an archive that I want you to watch. It's pretty self-explanatory. Another one is watch optional. Actually, when I had the Engage New York stuff in there, I have those things. I even have some Khan Academy videos that I want you to watch. You don't need to take their test, just watch them. If there's something that says download or heads up, these are just kind of notes that I want you folks to pay attention to. I'll show you. It will make sense when I go through this in a second. All right, courses, geometry. Okay, so I actually have to change these names because I realized I didn't do that. But this should say download right here. This handout foundations. And then here's an assignment you have to do. Assignment, 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 assignment. Assignment for the syllabus. Assignment, assignment, assignment. And then I should say download over here. Oh, this is a written assignment. I need to finish this. So I'm going to unpublish that. Anyway, I have your whole quarter set up for you, but I'm not going to reveal all of that for you because it's just going to bombard you with too many things to worry about. So I'm just putting those things up a few modules at a time. Got it? All right. Let's see. A tentative schedule. As you can see, you have a whole bunch of homework. But again, each of these IXL assignments, which are these guys right here, you have to do 15 problems. I found that those 15 problems takes me about 12 minutes, 13 minutes. I've done a few of them, 12 to 13 minutes. Got it? Maybe 20 minutes if you are getting them wrong and you need to take more of them. At first I thought I'm killing these kids with homework, but then I thought 12 minutes a day, like at the most half an hour a day, is not gonna kill you. You know, like you folks are gonna need to really, work hard if you guys are going into college, and you're gonna have to learn how to do more than 30 minutes a day on that stuff. So you know what? Um, if you guys complain about how much homework you guys are getting, back off, because I'm not asking that much. But I'll tell you what. I don't know if you've heard stories about me. I've even had students. I've had some of you students in the past. I always feel like Mr. Dalton is. I feel like I'm very reasonable when it comes to like how much homework I assign, and if it's becoming too much, then I will back off. I'll push homework assignments back. I'll just completely cut them out. That kind of stuff. Okay? So communicate with me and let me know. Hey, Mr. Dalde, you are killing me with this homework. I am just drowning in my own tears and paper of homework, and it's just ridiculous. Okay? We'll talk about what I can do to help out with that. All right? So, hey, Mr. Dalde is cool. So, don't freak out. All right, so why don't we do this? In the last bit of time that we have, why don't we go over maybe, here's another thing too, is what you're going to find is I'm going to end up doing a lot of your homework for you, or at least doing problems from your homework when I'm in virtual class. So you folks are like, sweet, that's so cool. Yeah, it is so cool. And you know how you can take advantage of that being so cool? You need to attend virtual class. Exactly. There we go. You guys come to class, you guys attend, you guys ask questions, that kind of stuff, you'll be golden. Because I'm going to do like half your homework for you. I won't say half because I'm not actually doing half your homework. But I'm just saying, I'm going to do a lot of your homework for you. I'm just saying. All right. So why don't we do this? Why don't I show you the first download PDF thing that I have? And Noah's saying all shucks. What are you saying all shucks? Is that a bad all shucks or is that a good all shucks? Oh, there we go. So, oh, shucks. Miss Dalde's like doing our homework for us. Yeah. I want you to attend class. I really want you to do well. This is not the class versus Mr. Dalde and I'm the enemy here. This is us versus the Common Core standards, and let's tackle this thing together. Cool? All right, let me see if I can get this thing downloaded. There we go. Give it to me in another. That's right. Now, Lori, have I ever had your brother? Or I recognize the last name. No? Yeah. Okay. Maybe it was Lozano. Maybe. All right, check this out. This is our homework, this is our textbook. Now, I want you to remember how I got to that textbook. It's from right here. This textbook is right here. Oh, by the way, here's the answer key to the homework. But obviously, it is in, you can't see it because it's not published. Because that's for Mr. Dalde to use, and that's not for you to use. But just in case you were wondering what those were. You won't have access to this. I will. but I'm going to open up access to them after it's due, and that way you guys can see all the answers and learn how to do it correctly. That's why I told you about that. All right, but here's our textbook. Now, this textbook you do not need to print out. Some of you folks might want to print it out, and that's totally on you. But you've got these cool, nifty computers, and if you upload this into Google or Microsoft OneNote, you can actually write inside of these things right here. So this is actually our textbook, and your homework is, like I said, coming from IXL, but every so often, at the end of each of these modules that we finished, got it? I'm going to assign a written homework. Now that doesn't mean you need to literally write everything out. You can actually do it on the computer and send it to me. I honestly think the easiest thing would be to print it out and do it. I'll send you folks what the written homework is going to look like, but it's actually straight out of here. See how it says homework/practice? I'm going to give you this stuff for homework. And we'll do a lot of these homework problems in class as we go through this thing. I probably won't cover this until tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Wednesday when we meet up again. Because I use a lot of today's class for introductions. We cool? All right. Let me show you a few things about geometry with what we're going to start. The first one is called a point. Now, this is just vocabulary, when vocabulary means just the words we're using so that way we can start talking about the real things, but we need to get our dictionary and our definitions done first. A point is just a single point in space. That's all it is. Cool? Now, Noah, if I asked you to draw a line that goes through this point, and you have to draw the line that I'm thinking of, can you do it? Through point A. Noah says yes, and I guarantee you it's wrong. Because Noah's going to say, okay, fine, I'll draw this line right here. And he's going to draw a line that goes all the way across like this. Straight across. I don't know if I can annotate this. But anyway, he's going to draw a line. There we go. Straight across the A. And I'll be like, that's totally wrong. I was thinking of a vertical line. Got it? So Noah, the answer is draw a line that goes to that point, but it has to be the one I'm thinking of. You would say, well, I can draw a line that goes to that point, but I can't guarantee it's the one you're thinking of. Does that make sense to you? Now, in order to define a line, now, okay, let's look at this scenario. Look at B and E, point B and point E. If I told you now draw a line that connects point B and E, but you have to do the one that I am thinking of, can you do that? No, well, of course you can, right? I mean, there's like, you can't draw any other line except this blue one that they have. You can see my computer screen, right? I'm just making sure. Got it. All right. So we have 2 points that is required to make what we call a line. And here's how we write it when we write things down in geometry. We write BE with a line over it. That means this line is connecting points B and points E. Does that make sense? Right. The other thing that we have is called a plane. Now a plane, I think that maybe the advanced definition is it requires 2 lines in order to make. And it's kind of like basically just the floor. That's a plane. It's a two-dimensional space. Is that making sense to you? And in order to denote that, we don't put a special symbol over it. We just call it plane C. So we have point A, which is a single point. We have line BE, which is a line connecting B and E. By the way, if I wrote EB instead over here instead of BE, would that be the same or different? Yeah, exactly. We're talking about if instead of writing BE, I wrote EB. It's talking about the same line. It's just writing it in different notation, but we're talking about the same thing. That's like someone calling you Lori Lee and another person calling you Lori. We're talking about the same person, just different names. Does that make sense? Awesome. So, anyway, this is our homework, and this isn't our homework. This is our textbook. And what I would highly recommend for you is I would either print it out and write in it as I go through this textbook, or what you can do is you can type it into your tablet using your Microsoft window. And we'll explore how to use that even more. But anyway, that's our textbook. So you can see all the different handouts. This is lesson 1 handout. This is lesson 2 handout, all of that kind of stuff. All right. In the last maybe 10 minutes, I'm going to take about 10 more minutes. I want to do a few of these homework problems with you. And we'll just burn through these things and get through them as quick as possible. Sound good? So, you cannot do your IXL today, or I will email you if I can get it up and running by the end of today. Hopefully I can. But let me do this real quick. Yeah, I tell you what, since I screwed up, I pushed the whole thing, this whole assignment back to tomorrow. See, that's what I do a lot of, is if something's like messed, a lot of times if I'm the one who screwed up the assignment, I take the responsibility in terms of like taking care of it myself because I screwed it up. And I'll fix it and I'll give you guys the points. Does that make sense? Another thing that I like to do is I like to, I'll even do what I call teacher's comp points. So if you see a bunch of points like added to your grade, I call those the teacher's comp points because a lot of times, sometimes if I screw up with making an assignment or grading an assignment, I give you points to make up for all that pain and headache that you guys went through for screwing up. So again, if you guys see all of a sudden your grade book like has added points to it, don't complain, okay? Don't say anything because there's no point in doing that because I'm just trying to help you out. Does that make sense? And it's not just me trying to give you free points. It's me saying I'm sorry for screwing up. All right, give me a second. The computer's thinking about what it does. Hey, how is the audio coming through? Because I'm using my cell phone. Is it clear? All right. Now, I know I didn't teach you about this, so we're just going to have to guess on this. What is this? Is this a line segment, or array? Now, you think it's a line. Now, okay, it's array. All right, Noah. Noah says line. Oh, Kyra, or Kyra. Kyra. Had no idea you were here. Awesome. Welcome. Did you just show up, or were you here the whole time? Oh, yeah. All right. That's all right. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it looks like you folks already figured this thing out, and you I didn't even teach you what a ray was or line segment. Yeah, let's guess ray. Super. All right. What is this one? It's a line. And why do you think it's a line? Because those are arrows. So they go in both directions forever and ever and ever in both directions. Does that make sense? Okay, good. All right. Then here's my question to you. What is a ray? Because you guys guessed what a ray is and you got it correct. What is your definition of a ray? It goes off, yes, exactly. It has an endpoint. I agree with all of you. It has an endpoint. It only goes in one direction, which I heard is a ban. I'm not a fan of that ban, but I'm just letting you know. It only goes off in one direction, and it goes off to infinity starting from that one point. All right, correct. All right, what is this one right here? We know what a line is. We know what a ray is. Obviously, this would be the line segment. Good. All right, so we've already got this. I mean, I honestly don't think that they're actually going to ask any harder questions than this. And look, we're already at a 50 for our SMART score. Sweet, I answered 3 questions. I'm already at 50%. But let's pretend that we screwed this thing up. Let's say line segment. That's my answer. Now you know, I know, it's going to be wrong because it's a ray, right? But let's just say. All right. So our SMART score went down, 50 to 40. So it didn't go down that much, but it went down. But here's the part where that's really good. This is how I want you folks to learn sometimes. For the most part, I'm going to try to lecture before we cover the homework. So I would have, hopefully I would have taught you what a line segment and a line and array are. I did my absolute best to correlate the IXL homework with what we're learning in class. That's not always a guarantee. Okay? So don't call me up and say, Mr. Balde, I don't, like you didn't teach us this. Well, I tried my best to correlate it, but I also tried to put it in order. And I can't guarantee to you that everything worked out perfectly, because IXL is something different and the Hawaii DOE is something different. But here's the best thing about it is, okay, 1 second. All right, 1 second. I got it. Give me a second. Hold on. I'm teaching from home today, so I had to go rescue my son from the toilet. He almost fell in. He's 3. Okay, so here's the best part about it. Yeah, TMI. Okay, so here's the best part about it. If you get something wrong, a lot of times they're going to tell you to say, hey, remember, this is how it works. And they're going to show you the answer. And I feel like that's one of the best ways for me to learn, is getting things wrong. So it's not a bad thing if you get things wrong. It just gives you an opportunity to learn. So a line, remember, a line goes without end in both directions. That's what you folks said. A ray has an endpoint and goes without end in one direction. That's another thing you guys said. A line segment has 2 endpoints. Boom. That's the lesson I wanted you to learn. We, of course, knew that, and we intentionally got it wrong. But I tell you what, if I did 15 problems, I will probably get an A and get 100%. I'm not sure if you continue to do those 15 problems. if you'll get all the way to 100% or whatever, you might have to do 16 problems since we got this one wrong. But honestly, I don't think they're going to ask you any harder questions than that. That is your first homework. Warning, it starts off looking easy. This is not an easy class. Mr. Dalday seems like a nice guy, and I might be, but I'm not easy. Okay? Don't get suckered into that. Let's see. Line segment. I'm just going to do the rest of these because they're fun at this point. I'm just wondering how many is it going to take for me to get. Ooh, what is this figure? What's the name of this figure? Oh, okay. This would be HI with a bar over it. Oh, wait. No, they switched it up on us. That's interesting. And now they won't let me change it. What's wrong? There's no backspace. Oh, oops. I think that they accidentally. That one looks harder. Yeah, so they're going to make it a little bit harder, but I'll tell you what. That one, you guys figure out what the right answer is and how to do it. You might get it wrong, but read the lesson and learn how to do it right. Got it? All right. Let me remind you of a few last things, because technically class goes from 1 to about 1:45. And we're going to do this weird thing where class goes from 1 to 1:45, but we're going to have another class from 2 to 2:45. And it doesn't make sense, I know. The reason being is because we want to only have 20 students in our class at any given time. So I have like 30 students in my class, which means I'm not allowed to have all 30 students in my class at any given time. So they're going to say, okay, this half of the class come at 1, and this half of the class come at 2. Does that make sense? No, it's not first come, first serve. We just haven't figured out exactly how we're going to split it up yet. Can we stay into the next class? I like that idea. I'll tell you what, Noah. What I'm going to do is I'll probably teach the same exact thing in the second class that I did in the first class. And if that second class is not full, then of course you can stay. I have no problem with that. Got it? Okay. So, what are we doing to the rest of the time? All right. So today, Mr. Dalday is going to try to figure out some information about this IXL thing and see if I can get to the bottom of that. I should probably cover these things with you so that way you've at least seen them before we start, or you guys have to start them. Can you choose your time? I'm going to, I'll see. I'll do my best to try to get you guys your time so that way it doesn't conflict with your soccer practice and all that kind of stuff. Cool? All right. Lengths of line segments on number lines. Let's do this one. So what I'm going to do for you every class is I'm going to teach you from the textbook that I showed you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into IXL and do 1 or 2 problems of each of these homework assignments with you. And that way you have an idea of what's going on. Does that sound fair? Oh my goodness. This one's going to be fun too. What is the length of line segment RS? And notice how it's line segment RS, because if it had arrows on it, it would have been line RS, but it's only a line segment because it doesn't have arrows on it. Does that make sense? Okay, so what is the length of it? If this guy's at 18 and this guy's at 17, 1. There we go. 1. Done. Brilliant. Okay, what about this one? One again. Done. Brilliant. You guys are like, dude, I can do 15 of these all day long. What about this one? 2. Folks are so brilliant. Okay. 2 again. Now, I promise you guys I would do like 1 or 2 of them. I'm doing 4 of them because these are just getting fun. All right, 1 again. Good. Let's see. I want to see it get harder. Hold on. So let me see. Can you see how many problems you've done so far? Yeah, there we go. So, oh, by the way, Kyra. Is it Kyra? Are you still there? Okay. Kyra, here's the deal. For homework in IXL, all you have to do is answer 15 questions. And I will take your SMART score with whatever you get. You don't need to take a picture of it. You don't need to do anything. Once I register you as a student, I'll see all of that information for you. All that information. Cool? All right, let's keep doing this one. What is this one? What's the answer? Ah, Noah's wrong. It's 2. Not 22, it's 2. Well, this one's 2 again. Dude, this is not going to get harder or what? I guess this one doesn't get harder. There we go. All right, well, it looks like that would be your homework, my friend. Okay, past the 70. Let's try that again. All right, let's see. 3. Answer to this is 3. All right. Wait, what? Oh, it's 2. Oh, you jinxed it. Okay. That one's 6. See, I got all cocky. Nope. It's the same level of questions. Have fun with your homework, folks. All right. Check this out. I did 15 problems. So technically, I can submit this and say, whoop-de-doo, la-di-da. The problem is, for the most part, I think that if you do at least 15 problems, you get the score you get. Okay? We got one of those wrong, so apparently they're not going to give us a 76. Or they're not going to give us 100. But you've done your 15 problems. Technically, you can just say, I'm done. Done with my homework. Unless you're not satisfied with a 76, which I wouldn't be, especially in a homework this easy. I'm just going to say it. It's easy. So I would just keep going. Because then you can get whatever grade you want. And if you end your grade and it's 100% because you didn't technically get 100% because you missed 1 or 2 of them, but you just did this thing. Let's see, 8. Oh, we're getting to the challenge zone. There's a challenge zone. Wait. That's the challenge zone? Seriously? How do you end your homework? You close the window. It's done. And 60. I think you need to answer a few challenge questions and then they'll be happy. So I apologize. You know what? You might have to do more than 15 questions to get 100%. We're on 26 already. Now you guys are groaning, right? You guys are like, dude, 26 questions. We're on 20. Well, I got to do 30 questions a day? Okay, all right. Whine all you want, but look at this, my friend. Okay, wait. Let me just get 100%. Hold on. Now I'm addicted. I got to finish. Hold on. Give me a second. There we go. You guys are like, dude, why is you had to do 31 problems? And you want me to do 31 problems every day? No, I only want you to do 15. That's my minimum. But check this out. It only took us 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So shut your complaining about, because it took us less than 5 minutes of homework. And that was tomorrow's homework. I literally finished the whole thing. Now you got to go in and do it yourself. It's not really that hard. To be honest with you, I don't think I even taught it to you. We just kind of did it, right? I didn't teach you anything. I just like, this is easy. Let's keep doing these problems. No, well, it's not. I mean, don't let me say that things are easy, because sometimes if it's not easy, it makes you feel junk. Yeah, you can try to beat it. In fact, you can try to beat it if you guys didn't screw me up, and you guys didn't. That's not your fault at all. I screwed up myself. But if I didn't screw up, I could probably finish it much earlier than that. But hey, go for it. Try it. All right? So, any questions about the assignments? Any questions about this thing right here? All right. Last question that I have for you. See this inbox over here in Canvas? I don't like Canvas inbox. I don't know how you guys, I think you guys have a button over here that says send teacher a note or something like that. I hate that thing. I can't stand it. So if you folks want to text me or email me, use my mrdalday@ethompson.org or text me at this number. Okay? And I'll text back to you and I'll email back to you. But don't send me messages through here. Every message you send me through here, I'm going to answer that question and then send you a message. And reminder, I hate emails coming to this inbox because sometimes the Canvas drops it. And sometimes it does funky stuff to it. And I don't know how to have it sent to my phone. So I'm just like, let's just not use it. Got it? All right, how we doing? You guys all right? That was a long class, I know, but it was the first one, and we just went through all of the syllabus. We talked about every single thing. I'm going to hold a special class on Wednesday at 6 o'clock, I believe, to kind of help all of your parents out with telling them the run-through of the entire class and answering any questions that they might have. I'm going to have class next week, Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and I'll probably send you a email about IXL when I have you guys registered. Cool? And don't worry, this is due tomorrow. And to me, it looks like you can jam these homeworks out in about 15, 20 minutes. All right. Nice to meet you, and I'm very excited to have you folks in my class. I hope you are too. Okay, bye.